morning, everybody. I hope you are well today. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking to you guys briefly about why connection to community is so important. So if you guys are watching live with me this morning, please say hello. And if you're watching on the replay, just hashtag replay and I'll make sure I come back on later and say hi to you then. So let me know how you guys are doing. I haven't been on in a couple days and would love to hear from you. So please say hello. And so connection to community is really important. And I know this, but I'm making sure. Everybody. Oh, there's my voice. So, yes, I was away this weekend at a women's retreat actually. And I learned so many things and came back with so many takeaways and inspirations and just so much connection and so much community. And so it's really made me reflect on how important community is. And so I wanted to share that with you guys today. So a couple things before we get started on talking about that is if you guys are watching this on Facebook this morning, I would encourage you to head on over to YouTube when this video is done and subscribe to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, you will find lots of videos on everything to do with my self-love at any size method, which is everything from yoga to meditation to mindfulness to mindful eating to body image work to chakra healing, all sorts of those things to help you in your journey of self-love and self-acceptance. So head on over to the YouTube channel, and then if you are not in my community, I have a community called SelfLove at Any Size, and this is where we empower women to accept and respect their bodies through all these different methods that I kind of described with my YouTube channel. But this group is where you go to build that community and have that connection to others as you are working on the connection to yourself. And so with all of this, really my wish for you is to find connection to your body, your mind, your spirit through all these different things that I teach women and empower them to come back to their bodies. Because so much of our lives, we really create a disconnect to ourselves. And so a lot of the things that I help people with is really about bringing connection back to self. So anyway, that is that. So let's get into what I wanted to chat to you guys about today. So community is so important, and connection to community is so important. And this can be done in a lot of different ways. It can be done through, we do have the technology to be able to connect virtually. We have, the opportunities to connect in person. And every time that we do this, it's at least for me in my experience and something I've noticed, especially after this weekend, is that connection, each time you take that leap, even though you may not be sure what the outcome is or what the lesson is, when you connect to other people, it really just emphasizes how beautiful it is when you do feel connected to others, and how in turn you feel so much more connected to yourself by connecting to others. I don't know if that makes 100% sense, but it does to me in this moment. So I'm going to go with it. So there are really if you think about connecting to your community, especially, whether this be in person or virtually, because luckily we can do both in the day that we're living in, right? So the benefits that you can receive from connecting to your community is just that, it actually helps you to improve that physical and mental health, because, when you're being held in a safe space with other people, whether it be other women or other community members, virtually or in person, there's just that feeling of being connected, and being able to be held space for, like having someone hold space for you, having other people share their stories, their feelings, their emotions. And as you do that, you actually, with that, you kind of have this renewed sense of physical and mental health and how important it is to take care of ourselves. And so being around other people and being inspired by other people and connecting to other people actually really does inspire that physical and mental health, increased mental and physical health. So that is really one of the first things that helps, that is benefiting us when we are talking about connecting to community. And the second thing is that sense of belonging and purpose. And this one is huge, at least for me it is. And let me know in the comments if this is something that you feel is true to you also. That sense of belonging and purpose, when you are connected with other people, whether it be other women or, in the case that I'm talking about, specifically other women, when you're able to create that community where you are connected to each other and you feel that connection, you really have that sense of belonging and you have that sense of purpose, that you are meant to be with those people in that moment, that you belong with those people, and that there is a greater purpose for every time that we meet someone, every time that, things happen that maybe, you didn't expect to happen. But, these things that happen actually bring you closer to these people. And, I feel like my head is a little bit all over the place still after my weekend away. So I hope this is making sense today, because I feel like I may not 100% be present. So thirdly, when we're talking about connection to community, I think it's really important. It's an important way to just have stronger social ties, because so much of, I know me with myself and my own self-love journey, I really feel that having those stronger social ties to those people that, encourage you and inspire you and motivate you, that is really so connected to your self-love as well. Because when you feel seen and heard and validated, and when someone holds space for you, it actually really creates that strong social tie that if you didn't make yourself vulnerable to being a part of different connections to either community members virtually, in person, or like in my instance this weekend, a retreat, it created such strong social ties, and it's beautiful. And that's something that I realize that we need more of, right? And that even, when I talk about our self-love journeys and that often we feel lonely in them, that is why the community part is such a big part of it, of creating that space where you all come together and you gather and you share and you hold space. And, I think that's a reoccurring theme that's coming up for me, is the holding of space and the being vulnerable, but also like creating that strong social tie, which I think is super beautiful, right? And so, going off of that, moving into kind of more realizing that it's not always easy to feel connected to our community, that a lot of things come up for us, whether it be, life's priorities or life's expectations, or, the busyness that we all kind of find ourselves in. It's not always easy to feel connected to your community, because you kind of feel stuck sometimes, right? And you feel like you're just running on autopilot, and there's kind of doesn't seem to be that break or that shift in how you feel. You start to feel really disconnected from your communities, whether it be virtually or in person. When you do get kind of busy and caught up in life and running on autopilot, and then you all of a sudden realize it's like, I haven't been connecting to community, and I haven't been connecting to self. Like, I think those are things that we lose disconnection from as well. And so really, some steps to move forward, I believe, is to really just increase the chances of feeling connected by putting yourself out there, by getting involved in either spaces or programs or retreats or communities that interest you, and really just taking that time to invest in that space. And you will really start to feel the connection, and then you will notice that shift within yourself of like, this was a missing piece. So I really believe that connection to community really helps us to increase that self-love and self-acceptance, because number one, you don't feel so alone. Number two, you feel seen and heard and validated in a way that you wouldn't if you didn't be involved in those spaces. And that's really the beauty of it, right? Is just being able to work on your own growth and healing, and but still, being able to listen to other people, to hold space for other people while they're holding space for you. And I think that's the beautiful exchange of community, is just finding that community that makes you feel that way. And so, it's not always easy. So I hope that this is helpful, and I hope I'm not too all over the place. But I hope that you really see the importance of connection and how you can work towards achieving it in your life. So, like I've already said, like making, putting yourself out there and finding the spaces in this world that where you have interest, where you feel like these are the people I want to surround myself with. These are the people's energy I want to be around. And in turn, that's going to help lift you up in your own self-love journey, in your own body acceptance, self-acceptance journey. You need community. And if you think you can do it on your own, and I defaulted back to this before too, of, well, I'll just do it on my own. It's easier, or I'll just keep this to myself because nobody wants to hear it. Community matters, you guys, and community is really important in your journey of discovering who you are, discovering your purpose, discovering that self-love and self-acceptance. If you don't have the community piece figured out, I believe that you will have that hole that needs to be filled. And until you are able to fill that you'll kind of always dip back into that, those old patterns of either old thinking or old believing, or going back to possibly the self-hate, if that's where you used to be. So I really believe that community is such a big part of that. And I was witness to that this weekend at the retreat that I went to. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope it made sense. Please let me know if you tuned in and watched with me, and if any of this resonated with you, I would be so glad. So I see Candace is there. So hello, Candace. I see you. Sending you love. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, you guys. If you want to learn more about how you can work with me and how I can help you to feel that sense of community and sense of feeling seen and heard and validated, I would love for you to take a look at my program. The link is in the description of this video. It is the Self-Love Revolution with Martina, where we really focus on building community. But while we're doing that, we're working on things like mindful eating, yoga, meditation, body image work, chakra healing, and self-care. So really just that well-rounded approach to feeling and living that balanced life. So if you feel like you do have that self-hate for yourself, or if you have a poor body image, or if you're just not taking care of yourself and you find yourself in that, hamster wheel of just doing life without really realizing that you've lost all connection to yourself and your body and your community. So if this program sounds great to you, it is 40% off right now for a limited time. So I have a couple spots left at this price. So I would love to welcome you into this space and just help you to create that community that will hopefully fill that space within your heart that may be missing. So if you have any questions or want to chat, I would be happy to do that with you. So you can just reach out to me, or you can click the link in the description of this video and go take a look for yourself at the program. And we will talk to you guys later. So I hope you have the best day. Thanks for anybody that tuned in, and we will see you next time.